We're looking at Tonka's little RC racer set. These are from their Ricochet racers. They have 3 different racers on the Ricochet flip style. And this particular one's called the Buzzsaw. And the reason it's called Buzzsaw is because the special trick that it does is spinning around in a buzzsaw style. I really like this racer. It's very small, it's very light. You can see it's as big as my hand. And it's extremely light. And one of the ways they get away with that is there's no batteries in it. It has an on-off switch on the top there, on one side. Then on the side it has different frequency numbers, so that way you can have more than one car, because if you have all 3 of them, you want to race all 3 at the same time, you need to have 3 frequencies. Then on the other side there is a little cord input where you can charge it. So what you do is you have your controller, which holds 5 AA batteries. And then on the side it has a little panel that pops out, and there's a charging cord, which you then plug in, and you put it on charge mode, and it has a little red light, green light to let you know when it's charged. And after it's fully charged, the car can go for about 10 minutes, maybe a little longer. Now that's the only downside I've seen to this car, is the fact that you can only have a short little life before you have to recharge it. Other than that, it's really fun. Now it's got, tires aren't really rubber, they're plastic here on the front and they're plastic on the back, and they have a little rubber strip for traction, which is where they get their power. Being so light, they flip back and forth really easily. This car is made more for the 7-year-olds and up, and that's because the controls, you have a left, right button, so it controls both the back wheels. So when you're going, if you just do just the left side, it's going to turn you one direction, just the right side is going to turn you the other. Then you have forward and back, and then you also have a trick button, which will cause this car to do the buzz spin around trick. Other cars have different things they can do, so it's a little different. So yeah, overall great car. I like how well it controls. I like the fact that everything is so small and portable, and that you can just take this car wherever you want to. You know, easy to pack in the car to go to a friend's house, to go to grandma's house, or whatever. And the fact that it is so small means you can play in a small room without having to worry about running into too many things. However, if you are going to be playing with this, you do need to make sure you clear some space out, because even the warnings that they say on the box is clear out the room before you get started. So, now that we've done that, let's do a little demo with this thing and see what it can do. Got to make sure I have it turned on. And pardon the interruption while we're trying to get a good angle to see what we have going on here. That should give us enough room. Now he is very touchy in the fact that just a little teeny bump to one control will make him spin right away. After you get used to the controls and you learn to just tap it just a little bit, then it gets a little easier. The nice thing is, though, is he's not putting any marks or bumps on the walls at all. The wheels are soft enough plastic that they're not causing any damage that way. But as you can see, because you can get going pretty fast, you do need to be a little bit careful with what you're going to do. Otherwise, you could knock over a base very, very quickly. So far I have had, 15-20 minutes of playing with him on carpet, which is a lot easier to steer with, to start out with, compared to steering on hardwood floors. Hardwood floors is much bigger of a challenge, so I really recommend making sure you do that to begin with, if possible. And you have to be careful that you don't lose them under the couch. Oops. Because then you have to get out and manually reset them. Now, I love this Tonka car because he goes really fast. And then as soon as he starts going fast, he flips over. And then you lose him off camera and miss all the fun stuff that he's doing. And then at any time when you're playing with him, you can just press the special button and he'll do a special buzzsaw. In this case, it's one spin one direction, one spin the other direction, and back. The nice thing is to do this is that I'm only pressing a single button on the controller. I only have to press this one button, and he goes crazy to do all of his action. of course, you can manually do all that stuff if you want to, just by manipulating the buttons. But it's a little bit more difficult to show off that way instead of just the one button press. The range on this is about 10 to 15 feet. As you can see, it's all the way down there, which is about 20 feet away, and I can't get him to come back because he can't get the signal. Oh, wait, he can. Never mind. Gets it a little bit. But this RC range is actually pretty good for a car that size. When I took him outside, he did just about as well, which is pretty impressive. But with his small tires, he doesn't do as well over the small bumps and bruises, and he's really made for inside play. But I love the car. It handles great. It's not very expensive, and it is a lot of fun. So that's what I think.